paper, fabrics or resins is very important, as they must be kept dry to avoid problems during production. We are now looking at a storeroom for silicone release paper of various types and grains, corresponding to different results in the finished products. The standard rolls of paper are 800 millimeters in diameter, weigh 600 to 700 kilograms, and carry 1,500 to 2,000 meters of paper. The standard paper width is 1,520 millimeters, but larger sizes are also used. The fabrics also vary, from cotton to synthetics, both woven and non-woven, or even coagulates. These two are bought as rolls, with a diameter of about 800 millimeters, ready for being loaded in position for the lamination process. The resins, on the other hand, may be supplied in drums, ready for the addition of pigments, as in the case of PU, or in sacks, as with PVC, which has to be mixed with other additives and oils, which are generally stored outside the factory in large tanks. On to the coatings preparation section, where the coating product is prepared to a specially developed formula. It is then weighed and mixed, pigments are added, and it is refined and filtered before being conveyed to the production plant. This procedure is extremely important, as the quality of the finished product is directly dependent on it. What we are now looking at are two transfer coating plants for the production of synthetic leather, with 3 and 4 heads respectively. Were developed to meet our customers' requirements for systems capable of achieving products of the highest quality without sacrifices in productivity or repeatability of the product, and without compromising efforts to reduce management costs and production wastage, while at the same time saving on raw materials. And equipment fitted enables all the operating parameters of the machines in the lines to be monitored. The data is handled by separate computers for each part of the system, monitored and managed by a single supervisor for the whole production process. The production speed on this line ranges from 15 to 35 meters per minute. The system we are about to see uses silicone release paper, which carries the substances to be used in the coating and laminating process. The paper also has the function of transferring its own finish onto the final surface of the synthetic leather. The release paper is supplied on rolls, as seen here loaded on a double unwinder. The unwinding of the roll is controlled by a pneumatic braking system. The use of a double roll reduces the time needed for joining. As each roll finishes, the end is joined to the next with special self-adhesive tape, which for double security is applied to both sides of the paper. The accumulator that follows makes it possible not to stop the line, as it stores the paper, allowing the plant to function normally during the paper joining operation. In this case, the accumulator capacity is 60 meters, so that given a speed of 20 meters per minute, the operator has 3 minutes to complete the joining, which is more than ample time, considering that just 60 to 90 seconds are needed for the operation. Compactness is an important feature of this accumulator, achieved thanks to the different cylinder diameters and special carriage. Pull tension on the paper is pneumatically controlled. The first pulling unit, with DC motor, is the master of the whole line. The coating on the paper is applied by means of a blade and back cylinder, either rubberized or chromed. The quality of the product to a large extent depends on the precision of these two elements and of the system regulating the gap between the blade and cylinder. The coating head that we are looking at is the SPA model. This head has electronically controlled settings with centesimal accuracy of coating thickness. There are visual displays with independent keyboards for the settings on the left and right sides. This head can take 2 coating blades, and by moving the blade holder, air coatings on paper and fabrics can also be applied. On request, the machine can be fitted with a screen roller and with a rubber belt. The more sophisticated applications, as in this case, call for automatic weight and/or thickness control. The values measured and the graphic displays are transmitted via the control monitor and can also be printed out on continuous stationery. All commands are delivered from the control panel fitted on the upper part of the machine. The latest coating machine to be developed is the model SP24. With its decidedly innovative head, it has met with considerable success in a short period. It is a single-purpose head designed for transfer coating on silicone release paper, and compared with the SPA, it offers greater precision, as well as having all the controls on ergonomic lateral control panels, so that the coating process is completely visible to the operator. The lamination of the fabric in this example is carried out wet, after the application of the adhesive coating. With other applications, the lamination is carried out in the dry state, after the oven treatment, depending on the type of article to be produced. It is a good idea, therefore, for a complete line to have the capability for both possibilities, in order to increase the flexibility of applications. The machine can be fed from the side using a non-stop accumulator and overturning unit, or from the top with a double roll with independent braking. The model we are looking at is the basic unit, which can be supplied with a number of optional features. Drying and gelling take place in the ovens that follow the coating heads. This element is the most important part of the line. The quality of the product and the productivity of the line are dependent on it. The standard modules produced by us are 3 or 4.5 meters long. Of the most commonly requested lengths can be constructed using combinations of these two sizes. The units are heated by 2 radiators of finned steel tubing with diathermic oil circulating inside, positioned at the fan intakes. The coils are protected from impurities in the inner cycle by steel mesh filters. Airflow on the product is by transverse air blade and is directed at the upper and lower sides of the coating. Ventilation can be regulated by means of an adjustable airlock. The precision of the oven, demonstrated by its low tolerances for deviation from uniform ventilation and heating, is a measure of its quality. They feature variable fan speeds with inverters so that they can be electronically run by computer if a completely automated production line is wanted. The tolerances guaranteed by Matex are plus or minus 0.5% for ventilation and plus or minus 1 degree centigrade in temperature, figures that reflect notable precision levels and meet with the approval of our customers, who have made Matex ovens those most in demand today. Thermoregulation of temperature is by 2- or 3-way diathermic oil valves and pneumatic servo motor. These can be activated either locally by pneumatic control or at a distance with remote control via transducer and centralized displays. The guaranteed maximum internal temperature is 210 degrees centigrade, with an outside contact temperature on the panels of 30 degrees centigrade. Thermal insulation is achieved using insulating material 100 millimeters thick and with a density of 80 kilograms per cubic meter and fiberglass and silicone rubber seals. The cooling unit, which always follows the ovens, makes use of large diameter cylinders with interspaces inside to allow the water to circulate. The number of cylinders varies in accordance with the articles to be made and the production speed. The temperature of the water used has to be between 10 and 13 degrees centigrade. The latest cooling system to be developed is the patented RAF Top model, featuring overhanging cylinders, which make for faster and easier drawing in of the paper with no risks, as the supports, motors and water supply are all on one side. At the end of the line, as can be seen, the product is separated from the release paper. The finished product is wound onto a turret winder, which allows the position of the roll to be changed, assisting the cutting operation for the operator. This system can be used for standard production speeds, while higher speeds require a non-stop accumulator. The paper is rewound on the double paper winder, which, as we can see here, needs to be self-aligning so that the paper can be reused. The electrical and electronic equipment is installed inside a large cupboard, while the control functions for the line can be activated both at the coating units and at the end of the plant. The use of direct current motors to drive the machines ensures their synchronization, while pull tension is controlled by dandy rolls. Our multi-purpose lines are constructed in compliance with norms on safety and the workplace, with particular care over the use of raw materials. After the coating process, the product can be finished by printing, embossing, or other special processes. We are now looking at a printing line designed to create two-tone and shading effects, and to protect the product with dull or shiny lacquers. novelty of our printing heads compared with others on the market lies in the different cylinder movement. When the line stops, it is the engraved cylinder that goes down instead of the rubberized backing cylinder. This system significantly reduces wastage of material every time the machine stops. Another innovation is the use of a pneumatic system with lateral fixing cones for holding in place the engraved roller. In this line, apart from the synchronization of the potentiometers, between one machine and another there are pneumatically regulated dandy rolls that ensure perfect tension control of the product. Embossing, carried out mechanically by means of an engraved cylinder exerting a pressure of 20 tons, enables fashion motifs, which can also be personalized, to be impressed on the product. These lines can, as in this case, with the addition of a cylinder-type coating machine for the primer and other optional accessories, be used for laminating metallized films, transfer printing, and can emboss with ready embossed paper or other materials. This finishing line also starts with a coated fabric unwinder, followed by a small pneumatic clamp that enables the operator to go ahead with the binding for the join at the end of the roll. Accumulator can be used to avoid having to stop the line. The final reel loading is done by turret winder. The high-tech Applied Electronics, PLC, allows automatic selection of different product working programs. A single console incorporates all the controls for the direct and alternating current motors, infrared temperature regulation, individual and series regulation of the DC motors, digital speed control instrumentation, ammeters and manometers. The last component of our lines are the systems that are installed to combat fumes and recover solvents and plasticizing agents to avoid pollution of the immediate environment.